Alrighty everybody, welcome back to yet another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and today I just want to talk about something because I know a lot of people don't do it. It's going to be a short video, and that's how it's supposed to be designed. It's designed this way. I really only want it to be around like 5 to 7 minutes long, but today I'm going to give you 5 crucial things that you're doing wrong in Dokkan Battle. So anyway, enough with this little introduction. I'm going to give you 5 crucial tips, some things you're doing wrong in Dokkan Battle, and some tips that I think would probably help you out. So I'm going to explain what you're doing wrong, and then I'll give you a solution to that little issue you're having. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I love you boys, and I will see you all at the end. Bye. All right, guys. So the number one, well, not the number one tip, but one of the things that I see a lot of players doing wrong when it comes to Dokkan Battle, and it's just throwing resources away, in my opinion, in my honest opinion. I see a lot of people using categories in stuff like Battlefield. My strategy has always been, and it's worked this way 100% of the time, I always go in with 120% leads, 130% leads. So I use mono teams. So basically, if you're the first character, like for example, the first character right now is Chaozu, right? That means the last character will be Broly, so he'll be physical, physical Broly, and then physical Chaozu. So what you would do is you would use your extreme STR characters first, right? So use all your extreme STR characters. Boom, you have those characters for Chaozu. And then at the end, which I mean, you guys can do this. I typically do a different strategy, but you can do this in Broly, right? Bring all your super STR characters for Broly, and super STR is pretty loaded right now, so I don't think you guys are really going to struggle if you do it this way. You typically, I really don't like running categories unless you have literally all of the good characters to use on these categories. Otherwise, you're just putting stuff out on the table. Spread your units out. That way, you're able to, spread that power out a lot more throughout the event, instead of, using 5 good teams for Battlefield and then having to throw all of that away because at the very end when you fight Broly, you have extreme, like you don't have a team to run. So typically just try and go for, these mono teams. You can use whoever you need to that are mono leaders as mono characters as leaders. And they typically work out really well. I haven't really struggled with using, somebody like Gogeta. He can get hit pretty hard sometimes, but it depends on who you're fighting and how. It's those last stages, those stage 3 in which you want to use all your superclass characters. But I see a lot of people doing that, and they mess up, and they're always like, dude, what am I doing wrong? I used to be in that same position until I found this strategy. You can use a category lead for Broly. I think that helps quite a bit. That's what I do. I use mono characters or mono teams all throughout the event, and then once it hits Broly, I use superhero. That's my go-to. You guys can use mono leads. It shouldn't be too much of a struggle. And I know Battlefield can be a struggle for a lot of players that aren't like, who still struggle. It can still be a struggle for people. Broly is still pretty tough for the average player. So I completely understand, and I'm with you guys. So take this tip to heart, kind of understand what I'm trying to say. And I'll go more into detail if you want another video like this. But yeah, anyway, that's going to do for this tip. From this tip, on to the next one. Okay, see ya. All right, so another tip I see a lot of players not doing is grinding up free-to-play characters. Guys, there is no harm, no foul in grinding up these free-to-play characters, especially because now we're getting easy A areas, right? And those you really want to grind up those free-to-play characters for, and a lot of them aren't awful. A lot of them. The anniversary ones have been kind of weird lately, but you guys need to get on top of grinding those characters. Some of these characters can be great options on teams. I'm not saying they're perfect units, but you guys really need to grind them out more than you are. It is super important that you get these characters out, because later on in the future, you don't want to be that guy who doesn't have free to play Tien, right? And his Easy A comes out and he's like borderline a top 2 best free to play units in the game. You don't want to be that guy. You're gonna regret it. So grind up these free-to-play characters. They typically give out stones, and it's genuinely not a bad idea to do that in the first place. So grind up your free-to-play characters, level up your box, and like eventually, you know, with free-to-play teams coming out nowadays, a lot of them can take on stuff like some free-to-play teams can take on stuff like Red Zone. So just keep that in mind. I want you to keep that in mind. Some free-to-play characters are that powerful. But anyway, that's going to do for this tip. On to the next one. All right, so here is, I'm going to actually consider this a bonus tip because if it's pretty damn obvious why you guys are struggling a bit in Dokkan. People are always like, I don't have the resources to do this. I don't have the resources to do that. That is entirely your fault. I'm sorry. It is. It is. Dailies. Do your freaking dailies, guys. These things provide you with so many resources to help you out throughout the game. Dokkan is coming out with so many damn easy A's nowadays to the point where people are gonna run out of Zenny. Do your dailies, man. This guy, you can do his event as many times as you want to. It's not even a daily event. Just grind the game more, play the game more, and you're gonna be able to get the resources handed to you pretty much. Right? They're revamping a lot of these too. They're revamping a lot of these different stages. So hop in, do your dailies. I haven't done my dailies yet. I'm just right now about to. I've been at work all day, so I'm just about to. So do your freaking dailies, guys. It's super important that you do your dailies. If you need more Zenny, hop into that Hercule event, grind easy A's. Like, you have to play the game if you want the game to reward you in some way, right? You don't want to be the dude where Easy A LR Vegito Blue comes out and he's literally the #1 unit in the game. You don't have the Zenny to Easy A him. You don't have the Zenny to do that. Or medals. You don't have enough medals to awaken him or anything like that. So grind the game, guys. Play the game, and I promise you, you're going to have a way easier time when characters come out and they're very powerful options and you want them and you get them and you have the resources you need for it. It's going to be a way better time for you. Play the game. Have fun and enjoy it. That's probably one of the most important tips ever. All right, so my number 3 tip I want to provide for you guys is a lot of you guys aren't link leveling your characters. And I know that a lot of link leveling is typically a thing you don't want to do. But if you have nothing better to do in Dokkan, you've done all your dailies, you have all the characters that you want, Dokkan Awakened and everything. You have plenty of stuff left over from, you know, Dokkan events and stuff like that, and you'd think you'd be prepared for like a random yellow coin LR that drops. Link level, man. Link level your characters. It is not gonna hurt you to link level your characters. Sometimes Dokkan has nothing better to do. I'm just gonna say it. Sometimes Dokkan literally has nothing better to do. Link level your characters, and when that next very strong, difficult, Red Zone stage comes out that you're having trouble beating, if you have those characters link level 10, it's gonna be way easier than if you didn't. So go ahead, link level your characters. Like I say, man, you gotta play the game if you want to do anything meaningful in it. You have to play the game. And like number 1 tip, it's not really the number 1 tip, but have fun while doing it, man. Playing Dokkan is a game that you're meant to play for a couple hours a day. It's not supposed to be something you're on all the time. I'm a Dokkan YouTuber, so I'm playing this game 24/7 pretty much. So play the game if you really, really want to get anything meaningful from it, and if you enjoy it, play the hell out of it. Why not? Why not? But don't spend stones on stamina. That I will say. Link level until that first bar is gone, and if you get plenty, you can get plenty of link levels done in a day, and then wait until it's refilled and do something a little bit more meaningful to you. Anyway, that's gonna do for this tip, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the last one here. 4th tip. A lot of you guys, I see this a lot whenever, and I used to be one of these people. And as you can see, I have a lot of characters that aren't done, but I'm not going to do them until I finish them all the way. And I grind up these characters. But I see a lot of people not doing this, right? They're using Elder Kais. Instead of farming up free-play characters. Guys, some of these characters, and a lot of them actually really do have events that you can grind these characters up from. God Goku is a good example. God Goku, he has an event in which you can grind up free-to-play God Gokus and get these guys up there. I'm just now about to get this guy to SA 15 because I'm grinding up the units to do it. So I get it. It's tedious to grind out characters for an hour and a half. I understand. But if you have fun playing the game, it is going to be way more rewarding to grind up these characters and put them and feed them into characters that you'd much rather be using than not doing that at all. Make your characters more powerful, strengthen them by doing it the smart way. Don't use Elder Kai's, guys. They've been handing him out pretty well recently, but it's not always been that way. So please grind up these free-to-play characters. It's not a bad idea, especially with chain battle existing in the game. Grind up free-to-play characters. Grind them up. It does you no harm to do that. And yeah, that's the 4th tip. On to the last one. By the way, guys, before we get to the last tip, I just want to let you know that literally like 95% of the people who watch my content aren't subscribed. We're trying to make it to the end, trying to make it to 200 before the end of July. It would really mean the world to me if you guys liked and subscribed. By the way, I also read all the comments you guys post. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. So anybody who comments down below, I read them. I will respond to them as best as I can. And let me know what you guys think before we get to the number 1 tip here. I really appreciate each and every last one of you who stayed this far into the video. I love you, boys. And yeah, enjoy the last tip. The last tip I want to tell you guys, because it is pretty damn prominent in this community, is you have to make sure, and it's pretty damn cliche, don't get me wrong, it's a cliche tip, but it's the number 1 tip, and I think it's the most important one. You guys have to have fun if you're playing this game. If you're not having fun anymore, the game is not for you, and that is perfectly okay. Sunk cost fallacy, unless you spent millions of dollars in this game, doesn't apply. If it gets to a point where it's unhealthy, drop it. If you get irritated at the game, stop playing for a couple hours. Make sure you are having fun at the end of the day when you're playing Dokkan. That is the most important thing. Please, please, please do not, fall into some gacha depression because, you didn't get the character you wanted, or, don't throw your phone because you can't beat this one stage of Red Zone. Guys, have fun first and foremost. And one more little thing I want to add on to that is it's super important that you guys, really, really consider your mental health. And if you have a problem with spending money in this game, stop playing it. If it gets to a point where you're just genuinely, you're bored or tired of it, just put the game down for a couple of days. That's completely fine. No one is going to hate you. No one is going to be mad at you for dropping Dokkan for a little bit. We understand. Your mental health is so much more important than you guys, think it is. So yeah, have fun, enjoy the game. That is my number 1 tip. I will be making plenty of guide videos here in the coming future, so keep an eye out for those for people who are struggling with Red Zone. And I have something super special for the people in my community who are a bit more active. So keep an eye out for future content. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next